Hey there YouTubers, it's been a while since my last video, some 11 months. Reason for this is same reason a couple of other guys in the retro community have not really made a hell of a lot of videos, like Mario Sonic is lacking a bit of motivation, you know, not had the time, or one thing or another. I know Rob, Maximum Gaming RD, said a similar thing about motivation, or sometimes, you know, real life and that gets in the way and it's very hard to find the time to dedicate to your channel, so apologies for neglecting it for so long. Anyway, on to today's video. The reason I am making this video today is because I recently finally got my hands on a Sinclair, or should I say Amstrad, ZX Spectrum Plus 3. Now, back in the day I did have a Plus 2, the original Plus 2, the light grey one, and the Plus 2A, the darker one, which is similar shape to this Plus 3 here, but obviously got rid of them foolishly. And although I'm a purist and I prefer the actual Sinclair black models, I did want to get my hands on a Sinclair Plus 3 because of the floppy disk drive. And so this is in my recent collection. This is my first Amstrad version, Amstrad Sinclair. But unfortunately, I mean, although it's been heavily modded. I mean, I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's either that's a serial cable. It's in the RS232 slot. He's sort of soldered and glued it into the auxiliary port here. You can see that. And it came with some modded leads, so you got a 5-pin DIN lead there, and onto stereo jack, and then two mono 3.5mm jacks. And the thing I'm really most impressed about this package was he's fashioned his own. The guy I bought it fashioned his own SCART lead, which I'm really pleased with. So I can plug that into the SCART on the TV, and there you go. There's the DIN pins there, and he's just basically made looks like some sort of serial cable, made it into a SCART lead. And obviously we have the brick, which weighs a ton and is absolutely huge. The Plus 3 brick, can you see that? It came with a hell of a lot of games. I'm not going to show all the games there because there's so much it came with. It's unbelievable. Cost me around about £30 for the whole lot, and it came with a data recorder as well, external one, so I'm quite pleased. There's the trusty old Cheetah 125 joystick. I had one of these back in the day and they were very good, as I recall. I don't know what this is. This is some sort of adapter. I don't know if this is just something like a reset. I don't know if it's got a reset button. If someone knows what this is, I'll be grateful if they can tell me. But it just seems like it collects on the edge connector, and I don't really know what it does. It's just like a pass through, if you ask me. But it must do something. Really pleased it came with. I mean, I'm just going to show a selection of games. I'm not going to. Mooncrester. In fact, I'm absolutely chuffed it came with this because I used to play this a hell of a lot back in the day in the old arcades. Loved it, loved Mooncrester, and the Spectrum version was pretty decent. Got these mega games, is it? 10 great games, volume 2, Gremlin graphics. So hopefully play that at some point. And it came with Elite as well. Now I've actually I bought Elite separately, so I've already got Elite, but it's also have a spare copy, and it come with the trusty lens lock. I don't know if anyone remembers that back in the day. Had the old lens lock, and what you had to do was fold this up, and you would fold it like that and put it onto the screen, and it'd be like characters. You'd have to adjust the size of the characters on the screen, and then basically read back. Well, it's just an anti-piracy technique that was used, but a lot of people complain about it. It wasn't very easy to do. Right, the one downside to this, which I'm quite unhappy about. I mean, it was listed as working, like the floppy drive working, powers up, which it does, it powers up. The one thing I am was a bit annoyed with is the fact that this was advertised as fully working, the floppy was working, etc, etc. And when it does power up and it does work, the floppy drive makes a grinding noise as if it's starting up, but then it did nothing. And I have a number of discs that came with it, a number of floppies like this, basically blank floppies. And I tried a few of them, couldn't catalogue them, couldn't list what was on them. You'd go in, it'd make a little noise, but nothing really happening when I tried to load it. And I thought, oh dear, this could be one of two things. It could be either the floppy's spindle drive, the motorised drive, has rusted and is solid, or the drive belt snapped. Because to be honest, it looked like it seemed like it was kept in a shed. It seemed that it was really dirty, and the inners were dirty. The games were, had to wipe the games down. So it looked like it was stored in a shed out in a garden somewhere. So it was really not in the best of conditions. So I took it apart, opened up the inners, looked at the floppy drive, and sure enough, the drive belt that drives the floppy disk motor had corroded away through old age, and it was basically brittle, just broke to bits in my hands. So I had to do an extensive cleaning job, tidy it up. Unfortunately, I had to buy replacement drive belts. So it's a disc drive replacement belt, as you can see. I bought two at £3 each. I thought might as well get a spare. And sod's law, when I did a search for these, only one seller had them at £3 a pop. So I thought buy two. The next day, you have like Firefox, and the next day you can restore the previous sessions. And when I opened up the restored session from the day before, my search was still in there for the eBay. And lo and behold, there was another seller selling two drive belts for £3. So I could have got two for the price of one, but hey, I'm not going to quibble over £6. Right, anyway, without any further ado, in this video I am going to open up the Plus 3 and basically fit the new drive belt. And in case anyone else needs to know how to do it, we'll go through the steps on how to do that right now. Right, now the first thing we're going to do is remove the 5 screws that hold the base of the Spectrum Plus 3 together. So we'll start with that first. Now this is the back of the Spectrum, that is the front of the disk drive just there. There are a further 2 screws on the side where the floppy is there. So we'll take those 2 off as well. Put those screws in a safe place. Okay, let's flip the Spectrum Plus 3 up. There we go. I've already taken the wires to hold this up, so bear with me while I'm just laying flat. I don't really want to disconnect the cable to the keyboard at this point. Right, there's the floppy disk drive, and that is held together by 2 screws here, which I'm about to take off. One. Now the other one. That's 2. Some aside. I've already taken the power lead off and the ribbon cable off. So now, as you can see, I'm going to focus that. The floppy drive is now free. So now I'll just take the face off. To take the face off, there are 2 screws. I don't know if you can have the camera can focus, but there's a screw there and a screw there. So basically, that's one, and now the other. And now it should, as it does, comes away. I suppose you see the LED, which is here, and the face exposed. I've taken this connection off already, but I just need to take that connection off there. So with a thin those pliers, just gently coax that out. There we go. Now, as you can see, that's free. It's got one on that side and one on that side. I've already done that previously. So now all that remains is to take off these. There's, I think, 3 brass screws here. So we have one there. You can see that? One there, one there, and one there. Apologies for the camera angle. It's really difficult standing behind the camera and trying to zoom in and trying to get the screen on where I'm looking to match the lens. Here we go. So there's that one there. Gently take that one off as well. Final one there. It's just smaller of the 2. 3, I should say. Now this is the tricky part. This is the tricky part because we really can't. Sorry, boom, let's get some light on the subject here. It's very dark, I apologise. Really sort of can't lift this up anymore because there's wires holding this up together. But basically, there's the spindle there. The main spindle's there. Sorry if you can get in there with a screwdriver, it might be easier. The main spindle that drives the diskettes around is there, and the capstan motor is there, so I need to really attach it from there to there. So without any further ado, let's get the replacement belt. Here we are. We have our replacement drive belts, so let's try and fit that. And basically, sorry about the noises outside. It's I live near City Airport in the Docklands, so we do get frequent planes. So I don't know if you can see that there, but so the light's pretty poor. But the spindle there, I've managed to wrap the fan belt, not the fan, the drive belts around that, and then we need to hook that onto the actual motor that will drive it, which is here, which I've just done, but not satisfactory. It was up here. Right, okay. Right, I've actually twisted it, so I need to do that again. So if I loosen that up, maybe it's better by hand. It's not the easiest thing in the world. I should have had tweezers really, but I can't find my tweezers. But there we go. Now, that is on there. So as you can see, the belt is now attached. And all I need to do now is put it all back together. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but the belt is now attached there to the main drive there. That's the spindle for the drive, and this is the motor that drives that. So the lighting's pretty poor, I really do apologise. All that remains now is to put the drive back together. So let's do that. First screw in place. So we've got something else, put them back in. This one here. And the final one there. Then we need to reconnect these wires. So that one goes there. Not easy. Also that one goes there. Back into that little slot. If that push clicks into place. Now this one. You'll see that, and push that one back into place. It's connected. That's it. It clicks into place. Right, next thing to do is to put the face plate back on. There you go, it's actually upside down as you look at it, so there you go. This hole here is where the LED will go. There you go. Simple. Simple. There you go. You see it, it's going to shine off that there. So, need to screw that back into place. Right, okay. Just one. Right, now the second one. Goes in there. And there we go, it's back together. Incidentally, previous time I opened this up, you see the worm here? The worm, this moves the reed right head up and down. I coated it with Vaseline, just so as a lubricant. So if you ever want to service your +3 diskette drive, get a little Q-tip, or as we call them here in the UK, cotton bud. Dip it in some Vaseline and just run it along the tip here, just to lubricate it, so that when you play it, you'll get a smooth movement. The right head is under here. You see it there. I've cleaned that with isopropyl alcohol previously, so that's nice and clean, and I've cleaned that tip there as best I could. That just holds it in place. So all that remains now that it's been put back together, is to test it, see if it works. Right, one thing to bear in mind when you do take this apart, I forgot to mention, is under here you'll see like a pin, like a brass coloured pin, about so big, and like a thin screw, almost the length of the actual screws itself, but much thinner. this is the read write pin, and it's just possible if you take this circuit board off and flip it, it will fall out, as it did to me when I first took it apart. Now without that pin, you cannot. It will affect the read write heads, the write protection, so you won't be able to write to any floppies. So you need to make sure that you're careful when taking this apart, and make sure that pin doesn't. And if the pin does fall out, just put it to one side so you finish your repairs, and then just drop it back in there. There's a little hole there just to the left of this screw, and then place it again. Otherwise you won't be able to write to any floppy drives when you try to. Okay then, that's it then. Let's put this baby back together now. Everything's been put back in, all the sockets are back in again, so everything's screwed down. So let's reattach it to the body. Right, attach it to the body now. Remember, it should slot into place there. It should fit in snugly, and then you can get our 2 screws that we took out earlier. So just quickly put those back in. Remember, this wire here has to, it's on a spade with a hole in it, has to go on in first. Don't forget to put that in, otherwise it won't work. That's it. As always, don't screw down too hard. You're screwing into plastic, you're not screwing into a brick wall, so you don't want to snap the. That's it. Just as long as it's. As soon as you start feeling a little tight, that's it. It's held into place. That's fine. Drive won't go anywhere. Right. Okay. Now, you can see here. Got the edge connected here. I don't know if you can see that well. But this ribbon basically needs to go into that. So if I hook that in there, reconnect the drive up. So it's a bit like connecting an IDE cable when you're connecting a hard drive or a floppy into a PC. So as you can see, it's back in. And incidentally, I take these wires down to hold them in place while I was carrying out the repairs. This is the, obviously, sorry about that, this is the power lead. Again, you can see that well. That goes into there. Can you see that? Goes into there. So we get the power up. That's it. All done and dusted. Incidentally, the buyer on eBay that bought this off was a company called coolnovelties.co.uk. You can see that at all. But I think there's another buyer on there, which is the other one I said we can get. I think they're called Retro Shack. Retro Shack on eBay do these as well, these replacement belts. All I need to do now is test it, and hopefully we'll have a working diskette. Right, moment of truth. I'm going to turn it on, and hopefully we will hear a working disk drive. That seems to work fine. I'm just going to take the camera off. Right, if we can get under there. Where are we? There we go. We just get a focus on that. That's it. Well, I'm going to take the power off and then plug it in again. You should see that spindle moving. Did you see that? Probably can't see a great deal, it's just flickering as it's spun. But suffice to say, the drive does seem to be turning. I'm going to insert, have a plus 3-inch drive, floppy disk, sorry, and we'll insert it into the drive. We'll see how we get on with that. Right, if you look at the actual surface of the floppy as I plug it in, you can see it's actually moving now. So that's a start at least. Now all we need to do is see if it works once it's powered up and connected to a TV screen. Right, all that remains now is to put the case back on. Now there's a connector here, and that needs to go here onto that. Pretty self-explanatory. There's no other connectors there. So you plug that in. Right, okay. To make sure as well, tie the cables around. Cables should be tucked around here, so to not interfere with the edge connector here. So just replace that. The lid's back in place. Put the 2 screws back in there. One. That's it. Again, not too tight. You don't want to snap the thread. Right, and then we need to put all the other stuff back together. Right, again, this is the front, so you have, against the front, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's put all those back together. Again, you don't want to do these too tight. Just as soon as you feel it bites, you can't turn them more. Just soft as it touches. That's it. You don't want to risk snapping. That's it. That's it then. Back together. What do we need to do now? Is just test it out. Right, the moment of truth. Let's see now if that. Right, if I type in load, LOAD, speech mark MIC1, MIC1, speech mark, load that. It should take a few seconds. Program's loaded, it says OK. You can see it on the screen. It says OK. Yes, you can. And now, if I hit enter, you'll see the program. There it is, only a simple little program, clear screen. Change the paper colour to 2, which is red. Thinking about it, I should have done the clear screen after the paper 2 to turn the whole paper red, but never mind. It's been a while since I've programmed on the Spectrum. Ink 7, which is white. 4 nits loop, 4A equals 0 to 5. Print at 10,2, hello world. And 2 little beeps, and then next day. So if I now run that, right, there you go, that's it. If I run that again, it should change the colour. There you go, look. That's what you should have done in the first place. There you go, short little program. And show that the disc is working okay, and I'm not just making this up. Right, the first one, just to prove that the floppy drive is working, and I'm not just making this up, I'm going to load that program again. This time I'll show you the floppy drive in action. So there you go, load MIC1, and we'll go straight to here. I'll hit the enter key. There you go, you can see the activity light going on. And do another catalogue. You can see on the top corner, here we are, MIC1, it's 1K, that's what's on there. Fortunately it doesn't clear the screen when you get a catalogue of what's on the disc. So I'm going to run that again, there we go. There we go. Right then, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this little video about fixing your ZX Spectrum Plus 3 disc drive, replacing the drive belts. Sorry it's been 11 months since my last video. Real life has sort of taken over really. I've got a family with a little boy, 3 kids. One of my little boys just about 15 months old, so they keep me quite occupied at the moment, and I don't really get a chance to make a lot of videos these days. Plus the fact, you know, I said earlier on, lacking motivation to do so as well. But I will endeavour to try and get something up soon, and I won't leave it another 11 months before I post a video. I did have a few ideas, and I'd like to do some more Amiga stuff, but I'll have to have a think about that. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please leave any suggestions and comments you have below, and hopefully see you soon. Bye bye.